Hello, truth seekers. Today is the 20th of February, 2025. And it's cold up here in Pennsylvania. Yep, the Poconos. Sort of supposed to be in February, but it's cold. Like a little colder than normal. Like the whole global warming thing is proving to be a lie. Like Trump winning the presidency, Trump being inaugurated, the thing's happening every day. Executive orders being signed. The truth is being told every day. And I'll tell you what, right here in the Poconos, it feels like the truth is there is no such thing as global warming or the climate change of whatever they're calling it. I remember, it's quite a few years now because Russia's passed, but I remember, and I talked about it here a couple times, Rush talked about NASA saying something about a 30-year mini ice age. And I believe we're in it right now. It had something to do with flares or something on the sun or something. But I kind of believe, because it's been cold the last couple of years, like a different kind of cold. But I'll tell you what, the ground is froze this year. A little more than normal. But anyway, welcome back to episode 105 of Life, Liberty, and Hines with me, Hines. Just an average person, I guess you'd say, pissed off at the system. I'm not really mad anymore because the system is getting its own. Yeah, it's getting fixed. It's getting shrunken. And every day we see that. That's why every day is a little better than the day before. But I'm just a pissed off citizen trying to share good news or inform you of why fake news might be lying of such or anything they could be lying about. Here to fight back against fake news and misinformation. Yep. Whoever that might be. Could be your friend. What I share here, you can use against your liberal friend, your liberal family member, or whoever you might know consumes fake news. But anyway, you can follow me on True Social, Getter, Instagram, because I've been banned on Twitter. It's now X, but I ain't got time to go there. And I was, of course, banned on Facebook here recently. But whatever. Like I said, I'm on True Social, Getter, Instagram, Brian Hines, and that's it. No code names, no alias. Brian Hines. So we might as well get on to this because there's a bunch of information. Speaking, but I got two things over here because last week I talked about two-stroke engines, Honda, Kawasaki, being able to build here or two-stroke engines coming back, something like that. And sounds like fun and everything. Not like I ride two-stroke or anything, but I mean, for them to take away our fun, because that's what it was. Take away two-strokes. It was all about harming the industry in like four-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff. But that's what the government does. Takes away our fun. So anyway, I went there to the library. I haven't done that in a little while, but I went to the library trying to look for this because I had absolutely no luck finding this information about Honda and Kawasaki that an associate told me about that he's seen on the news, which he watches fake news. But there had to be something to it. The only thing I could find was We're gonna call it Senate Bill of the 118th Congress, 2023 to 2024. It is S 3826. That looks like the sun. The light is too bright. But anyway, S 3826. It says here to amend the Clean Air Act to revise the treatment of certain resilience actions and natural disasters, to limit the issuance of new standards for criteria, pollutants, and for other purposes. I went through it, and it's typical legal mumbo jumbo, but it was put in by Mr. Cassidy, which is a Republican of Louisiana, and Miss Sinema, which started out in the Green Party, turned Democrat, and now is independent from 2022 to present. So I remember Roseanne Barr was in Green Party, and I'll tell you what, I don't know what party she's affiliated with now, but she's pretty damn conservative, especially with that new song, Daddy's Home. Yeah, that's pretty funny stuff. But this bill might be going somewhere, having to do with retracting the Clean Air Act, which goes all the way back to, I found out, 1963. Just to straighten that out, because last week I said about 4 presidents or something. Trump's kicking in the knee. It might be a little more than that. Just something to keep an eye out on, because this is the administration of cutting regulations. And the Clean Air Act is nothing but regulations. Pretty much anything that says act on the end of it is regulation preventing us Americans from doing another word I added to it. Check this out. From doing whatever we want, pretty much, as long as you're not harming anybody. Constitutional law. No victim, no crime. So, unalienable rights, natural born rights, God given rights, and the most recent one, basic human rights. And if you want to drive around and you're dangerous, two-stroke, dirt bike, you should be able to. The government shouldn't be able to say, you can't do that, because we'll just lie about an exhaust thing. Anyway, on to something else. Hey, Lisa used to say that. Thanks, Lisa. Anyway, hopefully she's finding a show somewhere. Anyway, I also found this other article while I was there at the library, and pretty funny. Snopes. It's not really. It said a complete rundown of Trump's first executive orders back in office. And I went through it a little bit, and I'll tell you what, a whole bunch of good stuff. I'm not really sure if Snopes is fake news or not, but it didn't sound like they were really happy about this stuff. But check this out. Below is a list of executive orders Trump has issued, because, I mean, like, a lot. So it's hard to cover all of it. I have a whole page of stuff here, and I'm talking about this article. But anyway, clarify the military's role in protecting national borders. Impose a 25% tariff on products of Canada. And then he paused. And then it says impose a 25% tariff on products of Mexico. And then he paused that also. And then it says, as foreign terrorist organizations and specially designed global terrorists, gonna design a special team to get those. Down here it says ban transgender individuals from enlisting and serving openly in military, and it says prohibit or limit gender transition of individuals under the age of 19, eliminate DEI programs, and all diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility programs, prevent hiring in the federal government on the basis of race, gender, or religion, prevent transgender women from competing in sports, which that was a big one. Recognize only two sexes at the federal level of government, male and female, X and Y, that stuff. Um, the song, there's only two genders. I think it's called Two Genders, actually. I know who sings it. Funny song, though. Good song, funny song. Two genders. Revoke several diversity, equity, and inclusion related executive orders. And then it highlights education. Expand parental power in education. That's a good idea. Gender and federal funding or support for gender ideology and discriminatory equity ideology in K through 12 schools. Speaking of school, there's way more to that, but I don't have time for it. There's way more to these schooling problems. I have an odd feeling when we get to like that 2035 thing, all the universities and colleges, they're going to be the majority of them. We might only be using like a quarter to a third of them for education and science. But the rest of them are probably going to be repurposed, like 3/4 of them, you know? There's people going and learning, getting some kind of a degree or something in Beyonce. It's not a subject. So we got to get on him. Because I found on Getter. Judge John Bates, who is blocking President Trump's executive orders, is married to Carol Rees, Rhees, founder of the Hope for Children in Ethiopia, which is a U.S. aid funding recipient. So, U.S. aid, the one that all last week we heard was wasteful spending our tax dollars, like everywhere. Well, one of them is Hope for Children in Ethiopia, because this lady and her husband are both against Trump and getting paid to be against Trump. I bet you that would fall under conflict of interest. Just saying. I also found Doge, Doge, very common word we hear these days, and it's a wonderful word. But anyway, Doge is firing useless employees that didn't work in places like Children Bureau. Oh, check this out. That was just something I wrote because I seen this meme, post, whatever, and it was these two posts from this person that went by the name the blonde girl, and she posted that in her blah blah and job, and then the next one she posted that she had to go to work for an hour or something like that for a short period of time, and it was like bothersome. So it was a government job in this Children Bureau, and the the female was bragging about getting paid to not work. More wasted fun. But anyway, most of these child government services are definitely not just taking our children. Um, U.S. aid paid $142 million to 734 Palestinian terrorists. Some of them got more money because they killed more Jews. Like they were keeping record of it, probably taking pictures with a cell phone or something. And then they got our tax dollars, $142 million. I mean, even if you don't like these people, either one, the Palestinians or the Jews, it's our tax dollars. I don't want my tax dollars going to people that done killed somebody. That's just messed up. But anyway, on a side note, Democrats made USA aid. They designed it, they created it, it's their money laundering outfit. One of the many. So Democrats made USA. And then the USA paid Palestinians to kill Jews. Alright? And then Jews still vote Democrat. Does that even make any sense? We'll keep moving. The following stuff I found on Truth Social, but that's just crazy. When are these people gonna stop supporting? Because, like I said, like America, there's Americans. We're all Americans as long as like you have a birth certificate from America. No bullshit. Anyway, we're Americans, but we're not all Christians. Just like Israel. Israel is filled with Israelis, but they're not all Jews. A lot of those Jews are here in America. And one way or the other, they're not really American either. Because we done find out that they're kind of terroristic in a different kind of way. JFK, 2,400 pages. Wait until we find out some truth about, let's say, the Titanic. That have a lot to do with this, what I was just talking about. Doge clock hit 100 billion on Monday. Thing I see a lot of stuff. Later on in the day, I seen some lower numbers, so read truth or something. So, but anyway, if it's 100 billion, it'll end up being 100 billion. If it's not, but 100 billion, and then President Trump said something about Americans should get 20%. Because if there's going to be wasteful spending, and say wasteful spending of 100 billion, well, instead of like really being confused with all this money you still have, because it's starting to pile up, it's starting to be a mess. So you like push some of it out in stimulus. So if it's 100 billion, $20 billion for the American people. Or does anybody know? I should have checked it out before, but I just thought of it. But how much money did they give out for the China virus stimulus? Which could have been a trial run for this particular stimulus of 20% that they might be handing out. Trump might be handing out. Is it going to be this old dirty money that I'm telling you? This money, this stuff we use now as currency in America, it's trash. Hussein Obama's giving pallets of it away. Was it in circulation pallets? Who knows? Then over in Iraq, they used our currency as their currency because their currency had Saddam Hussein on it. I almost said Hussein Obama on it, but that would be worse. But anyway, It had Saddam Hussein on it, and they threw their currency out. No good. So then they ended up hauling in our stuff, like truckloads, and like a couple truckloads of it had disappeared. But anyway, this stuff wasn't in circulation in the United States, but it's United States currency. It got into circulation. Our our dollar is stomped on, stepped on, cut. It's just trash. We need something new, backed by gold. Oh, and I seen Trump. No, no. Of course, Trump, but Elon Musk. He's going out, and Trump said it too. Trump's going down to Fort Knox, and Elon Musk. He said he's going to find our gold if it ain't there. So I have an odd feeling. They have a couple clues where it might be, because I don't think it's all going to be where it's supposed to be. So I think they have a couple clues, and when they get it back, they're going to be able to back our money by gold. But not that old trash stuff that's floating all over the planet. No, can't use that. Got to use something different. Nassar or Jassar, heard something about that. Anyway, we keep on moving. So much information. And it's wonderful, wonderful information. Personally, I really don't like our dollar. And he said we're going to stop using a penny. You know what that is? To stop using a penny. That is a red pill. A red pill saying no more taxes. Because you know what? Like here in the communist wealth of Pennsylvania, we have a 6% sales tax on like prepared. I don't know what else. So, and taxes, you can't have a sales tax if there's no penny. Get rid of it. And there's a lot of taxes that they ain't gonna be able to do because there's no penny. Very rare you go to H&R Block and all your numbers come out with a 0 or a 5 on the end. Get rid of taxes, you can get rid of the penny. It goes together. Like peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, I told you I had to keep moving. But it's all important stuff. I'm telling you. The Department of Education sent 3.5-page letter to education departments in 50 states, telling them to end DEI programming in their schools within 14 days. I had reposted that on Truth Social. You can read the 3 and about third page letter. It's good stuff. I mean, I suggest homeschooling if at all possible, but our schools are definitely going to be getting better. We're not going to be like the third dumbest from the bottom anymore. We're not really that bad, but we're not far from it. Seen a video earlier. I might have reposted it. I hope I did. It was some guy out on the street, I think on college campuses, where people are smart, you know. He was asking simple questions like, how many weeks are in a year? And you know what? These highly educated college and university students didn't know 52 weeks and many other simple questions. I'm going to watch it later. It was like 45 minutes. I didn't have time when I see it. I'm pretty sure I reposted it. But the longer you go to school, it seems like the stupider you get. Oh, it's not written down because I just seen it. You might already know about it, but Cash Patel is confirmed and I'm talking about that. Check this. Tulsi Gabbard is also confirmed. RFK Jr. is confirmed, but we all know both of those because they're like old and stuff. But I had written them down, didn't have time to get to them. But here we are, getting to them. And then uh, FBI Director Kash Patel. This is going to be great. But yeah, within I no more blah blah blah. An update. That means Greater Idaho Movement. I had talked about it here. Yep. I don't know. Maybe a year ago, 8 months ago. And it looks like the Oregon counties are going to get to vote to secede and move to Idaho. Check that out. They are moving along, proceeding, being America. We don't want to be part of that communist state anymore. I mean, that liberal state anymore. And we got a couple minutes, so we're going to move on to the next note that I think you need to know. House passes bill block future presidents from banning or House passes bill. Doesn't mean it's over. I mean, Trump has to sign this thing. But, of course, it also has to go to the Senate. But anyway, the House passes a bill blocking future from banning oil drilling. See, like when Creepy Joe got in there, and a lot of people forget when Hussein Obama got in there, all that drilling and stuff to keep our gas prices down. Yeah, them there, worthless, evil Democrats, they stop that stuff. They like write laws that you can't do it. They don't just go out there on the field and be like, hey, stop drilling. Shut that thing off. No, no, no. They like write law to make us spend more at the gas station. Crazy. And you know what they're doing. But anyway, the bill is one step into making it so liberal presidents can't cut off our oil production anymore. They always figure out some sneaky way, but our trick is let's just not vote them in anymore. Pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
And Social Security. I got something written down here about them. We got a minute here. It started in August 14th of 1935, 90 years old, but Social Security was paying a person one. I mean, there was a whole list of groups, and there was one person between the ages of 360 and 369 years old that Social Security was paying. Well, Social Security is only 90 years. America is only 249 years old. So how the hell are they paying somebody that's over 100 years older than America itself? I'll tell you what. If this individual exists, it's like biblical, because them people live like really long times
It's
back then.
biblical.
Huh? And I got one more thing here. Trump truth. He who saves his country does not violate any law. And you know what? Me here fighting back against the left, I think I'm helping to save the country. I hope so, anyway. American flags, I hope I'm at least pissing the left off if they turn on the channel. This one don't, but American flags, you know. Lots of information, lots of good news. Hope you enjoyed the show. And I'll be back in about 7 days. Thanks for joining.